This past Friday, January 3rd, I was able to capture 9 reward against 1 risk on crude oil, and I want to show you exactly how I did it. So I'm going to break down the trade review, and I'm going to show you guys how I did my analysis in the morning as well to find this setup. So every morning I always do my pre-market analysis, and that's when I go over the 4 major futures that I like to trade, and that would be crude oil, gold, ES, and NQ. Now, something I recognized on crude oil is the past few trading days up till this point have been pushing higher, and we've been in an uptrend. So I did my market analysis in the morning. I saw that crude has been in a bull trend for the past 4 trading sessions. We were breaking previous day high and closing green. I'd like to see that trend continue. Ideally, I want to buy the dip and look for the next level of supply as a target. Potential setups were setup number 1, double break of the 15-minute orb, first break to the downside for a long entry in a 15-minute demand zone, and that would be a 9-to-1 risk to reward in itself. And that was this setup right here, which is a long position off of this 15-minute. Now I have it blue on our chart right now, and the reason I have it blue at the moment is because I'm going to go over how I used this zone to find my entry up here. So now we come back to my trade plan. So the second plan, we did not return to that 15-minute demand zone. Plan number 2, or setup number 2, would be if we don't come back down to the 15-minute demand, then I will look for a new 15 or 30-minute order block / fair value gap to enter. Now what I noticed on Edgefold 2 is we have had some double breaks for 3 of the past 5 trading days. So was sort of hoping that we would break down. We did not get that break lower. Now something I recognized was every time we created a 15-minute basing candle and had a strong move afterwards, we have now started to hold that zone. So now I notice the same price action up here. We created our red basing candle, and I'm able to mark that out as my blue zone. So now I could see this is going to be my next potential entry, and I'm going to target maybe that previous day high as a next key level. So I'd look to enter somewhere in this zone, and I would look to target the next key level. Now because it's a 15-minute order block, I would look for a 5-minute entry. So we'll let it play out for just a moment. And as you guys see, we got our test, and that would be where our entry is. And as soon as we get a strong move out of the zone, that's when we would look to either add and then move up our stop loss so we're in a more full position and target that previous day high. Because again, we're looking for the trend, and we are trading with the trend on crude oil. So whenever we trade with the trend, the odds are more in our favor. So we got the break. I got out of this first position. It was a fantastic trade. Now I want to bring us back to the 15-minute time frame. So the 15-minute time frame, now we're out of trade number 1. We'll push this over here for now. And we see that we created a few more order blocks, and every time on the 15-minute time frame, we create this red candle with a strong candle afterwards and a long lower wick, we would get a retest and it would hold. Now I noticed we created another one right here, and I'm not a big fan of this one. This one was too large. It was holding the whole range. This is the one that gives me the breakout, and I know that this is the one that gives me the breakout because the candlestick that moves us out of the zone is the candle that also breaks this previous day high. So this gave me setup number 2. So I was able to look for my entry in this red candle and the stop loss at the low of the wick because I'm looking for this trend to continue higher. And I was then able to target the next supply zone for a 6-to-1 risk to reward. First trade being a 3-to-1, second one being a 6-to-1. This was a phenomenal setup. Crude gave us 2 tests, and then it ran right to our take profit. Really great trades on crude. This is how I was able to follow the trend and use my different time frame analysis to spot my entries.